Hello all you beautiful people out there, what's going on? It's from BritikHD with another OverPrime video, and today we're going to be talking about their Trello page and the information that they provided forthwith to kind of illustrate their plans for the future for this game and what they want to come out with in the updates. Now, there's going to be a couple things that we talk about here. We're going to talk about the server. We're going to talk about some tournament stuff. We're obviously going to talk about PS4, PS5, and a couple other things. So we're going to summarize the Trello page. We're not going to sit here for 30 minutes and walk through the entire thing. I'll link it in the description and in the comment section. And without further ado, let's get on with this information. So, in April, the first thing, obviously, that catches my attention is the server stuff. They've got master server refactoring, lobby server refactoring. So to me, after talking to you guys in the Twitch chat, some of you are more aware and more informed about servers. I am kind of a monkey when it comes to this kind of stuff. I don't really know that much. I had to Google what refactoring means. You guys helped me out in understanding that this might not really necessarily mean dedicated servers as we know it. Like, it's not Amazon servers or Azure servers and stuff like that. It's more like a master server that Rocketmania kind of alluded to in the past on his Discord channel, talking about how he needed to rework it and stuff. It's also might be a server list, so it kind of keeps track of the players. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to end up looking when it's all said and done, but all I know is that at some point dedicated servers should be in the equation, because in the long term, even if you have the most flawless peer-to-peer connection, there can still be issues that arise from needing hosts. For example, in Call of Duty back in the day, when you did have peer-to-peer connection, if the host were to disconnect, you would have this migration and it would migrate to a different host and stuff like that. So things are never super smooth when it's peer-to-peer in any sort of way, no matter how polished and perfect it is. So I do think, and others do agree with me, that dedicated servers are pretty much a must in the future for a game to succeed, especially nowadays, like in 2020. This isn't 2000, right? Like, this is 2020. Everything has dedicated servers now, so it's pretty important for that kind of stuff to really make its way into the game. But other than that, good that they are doing this. I want to kind of preface it before we continue, because I know I already kind of looked at this and I'm like, oh, where's the dedicated servers? Because I'm critical, people might think that I don't like this. No, that is wrong. I like this a lot. I'm really happy. I'm really glad that they got this Trello page out there. This is what I wanted to see from them. I wanted to see their plans. I wanted to see their vision and what they were planning on doing. And this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. And I commend Team Soul Eve and the people working on OverPrime absolutely for doing this. This is fantastic. Okay? So don't think I'm hating on them here. I'm going to say some good stuff too. Don't worry. All right? They want to implement MMR and rank, a rank play as well in April, which is interesting for sure. We'll see if they'll be able to get that going. At a first glance, all of this seems very, very ambitious, and I hope they're able to finish it. And if they are able to finish all this stuff without pushing anything back, then they're just young gods, honestly, and they deserve everything that comes their way, because there's a lot of stuff here to the point of December, and to expect absolutely nothing to get delayed is kind of unrealistic. But if they are able to do this moderately well in a reasonable amount of time, especially in the time that they showed here, then I think they'll really be up on everybody if they do deliver on this kind of stuff. So crowdfunding later in this month, and then in May, they want to bring the game over to Steam. So they have the game launcher already, and then they also want to bring that client over to Steam. This is very similar to what Smite did. So that's really good. Obviously, Steam is going to increase the discoverability of the game. Another really, really good thing that they're doing. They have these tournaments, which are really interesting. I'm curious about how they're going to run these tournaments, if they're going to be for cash prizes, if they're going to be just for fun, for showcases, whatever. My theory is that they're going to use the tournaments to kind of see top level play and see where they have to go from there when it comes to balancing, which in my opinion is a really good thing, because that shows to me that they want to balance the game top down at a competitive level, and history has proven time and time again with other games that this is the best way to do it for longevity and to make sure that a game lasts a long time. So these tournaments might seem a little silly being done so early, but at the same time, they might also be incredibly beneficial in making the game better in the future. So, good thing, definitely a good thing. All right, June doesn't have too many crazy things. They're gonna bring back all the heroes except for Wukong. I don't see Wukong here on this Trello page, and honestly, I wouldn't be upset if they don't bring him back. So that's the thing with the heroes, pretty much all said and done. Also, they're gonna be doing hero reworks and item balancing throughout. And then in August, they want to throw in Monolith. As I showed you guys in my previous video, Monolith screenshots. They've got the assets. They want to make Monolith and add that into the game. Are they going to keep travel mode, though, in Monolith, is my question. Are they able to separate it? Because Monolith with travel mode is a completely different ballgame now. It completely changes how the map is going to work. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. That's just one little inquiry I have about Monolith. And then they have some more tournaments later on in October and December. They have battle passes as well, which is good. They need a monetization system, especially if their game is going to be free to play. They need ways to make money through skins and monetization strategies such as battle passes. So can't wait to see what they end up doing with that. And then they have Halloween events, Christmas events, so probably limited time skins like Epic did. And then obviously last but not least, they talk about PS4 and PS5. So if you click on August and you click on PS4 and PS5, in the description it says start to develop. Okay, so it's not like they're going to be done on PS4 in August. That is absolutely not reasonable. It makes way more sense for them to begin development in August, because it does take a while to bring these things to console, and Sony's very particular with the games they bring over to the PlayStation Store, which is why it's super important for them to polish things up before August and then throw it over Sony's way and be like, hey, look at us, we got all this stuff, let's start making this on your kits and we can bring this to the PlayStation Store. So that's that with the PS4 news. Okay, they're gonna start development in August according to this Trello page if nothing gets pushed back. Of course, everything is subject to change because you never know what kind of bugs and things might arise during video game development, especially when you're trying to do all this stuff with such a small team. Honestly, Team Soul Eve is filled with talented people, and they have to be if they want to do all of this in this amount of time. But so far, I believe in them. Like, everything they said they would do, they delivered upon. They gave us this framework, and I'm excited to see them execute this framework. Like, I really want to see how much they can do in this allotted time. I know they're challenging themselves. These are very, very, again, ambitious dates. But again, as I said, if they're able to kind of, work this through, just come up out of nowhere and be like, hey, look at us, we're bosses and we just finished everything on time like maniacs, then they will definitely have an advantage over everybody else, and they will gain a whole lot of support for sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did find it informative, useful, funny, aka absolutely none of the above, because you didn't, because why? Because it's Britik, obviously. I don't do any of that stuff. But if you did enjoy it, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you have a wonderful day. Peace. Way. I should have stuck it.
Nice shot, dude.